Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday morning. We've got two transfer stories to talk about this morning. So this is why I had to go live. I rushed home from the gym, as you can see. Still a little bit sweaty. I rushed home from the gym because we are talking Dominic Solanke. We are talking Emerson Royal. We are talking finally the end to the Emerson Royal saga, because let's be honest, it has been a saga, whether you liked it or not. But we'll also be talking about the Dominic Solanke move, the fallout from that, and what happens next. So there's so much to talk about. There's so much to get into. I want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. Obviously, I know I don't normally go live nearly 10 a.m. UK time. I normally am posting videos around lunchtime, around midday. I understand that. Apologies if you watch this back and I'm done and it's a bit early for you, so I do apologize. But I had to go live because it is such a big morning. I was at the gym, 8 a.m. Ornstein drops a bomber, and then Romano comes in with a sledgehammer not long after that with the Emerson Royal. But yeah, good morning, CC, Dan, Spurs, as a UK, Kookaburra, Sofian, Teddy, Adventurous, Patrick Bateman is boss. What a name that is. Oliver, and Dean, yes, Dean, I'm treating you all to a good time. Andy, you're killing me. Make a 5 a.m. stream. Apologies, Shroomsy out in Florida. We'll talk about Oliver in a minute. And Callum Roach. It's like I'm LeBron James. Put the king on the Callum Roach. Morning, Sonia. Let's jump in. Let's talk the Dominic Solanke news. So look, quick backstory. If you've been living under a rock and you've not been watching me, which shame on you, Dominic Solanke's situation is that Spurs are interested. Spurs were sort of feeling out what the deal's going to look like. But, are they going to do it? Are they not going to do it? Well, they've done it, is all I'm going to say. David Ornstein, 8:06 a.m. UK time, so it was just under 2 hours ago, saying Bournemouth have agreed to sell Dominic Solanke for a club record fee. And talks with Tottenham Hotspur continue to finalise the transfer. Personal terms are already in place, and the 26-year-old is desperate to complete the move. So, what do we think? The guy is desperate to be here. That's a big tick in Ange's box. He always looks for people that want to come to the club instead of, wanting that move. They want to come to the club itself. He wants to be here. Ange is clearly really into him. Sounds like they're about to go on a date. I'll be there. I'll be the waiter. But by all things considering, this is what Ange wanted. Now, yes, it's taken a little bit longer than we all wanted. But the thing is, I would say is, I hope, well, obviously we play tomorrow. We play tomorrow against Bayern Munich. Obviously, he's not going to feature then. Regardless of how quick this transfer goes through, he's not featuring then. But if he could be announced tomorrow, that'd be lovely, right? But the key thing to all this is we play on what's the 19th. Double check that. Bring up my calendar. We play on the 19th. Yeah. So he's got 10 days to get up to speed. He's got 10 days to learn Ange ball. And I expect him to play against Leicester. Obviously, it's yes, it's a big money signing. I completely get that. But with the fallout from the Richarlison situation, a lot of people were worried, are they signing Richie? Are they signing Solanke whilst keeping Richie? That was always going to be the plan. The idea that Richarlison being sold afforded this deal was always rubbish. Our net spend this summer wasn't high. We've sold players as well, which obviously means our net spend is actually lower than people realise. But all in all, this is a good move. Yes, he maybe isn't as keen. People aren't as keen on Solanke as maybe others are, but this is good. We have some more depth in the striker position, which is what Ange wanted. So let's do a poll. Are you happy on Solanke signing? Vote in the poll. Tell me your thoughts and feelings, and drop a like if you're happy about Solanke. Why not? Let's do all that jazz. Morning, Gordons. How are we? How many goals do you think Solanke would get? Well, he got 19 last year. Why don't we go 20? He said he wants to get 20 next season. I'll go with 20 as well. Why not? Looks like we're all good. So much happening right now for sure. Sign your Crez. Your Crez is a step too far now. What happened, Mads? Mads, I just told you what happened. God. Happy days. Have we signed Solanke? Close to. Just love the thought of seeing him in the front. Absolutely. I'm coming to that in a minute. Jenna Wang. What a name that is. At least it's a week before we start the season. Well, we got 10 days. We've got 10 days before Solanke joins us. He's going to have loads of time to get up to speed. That's how I view it. That's how I view it. Yes, he maybe is going to be learning and sort of gaining that sort of connection with the other attackers that will be playing up there with him, but it's a massive start. He will give us another attacking threat. And I want to come to one other thing in just a second about him as well. Ridiculous paying that money for Solanke. Richie part 2, clearly not number 1 target, or he'd been going from before pre-season. We've been levied again. Well, we'll see about that, Matthew. Now I need to see Neto. I think Neto is a great second move. Getting him as a second signing is really good because we won't be so reliant on it. Well, we're going to talk about what we expect next after when we talk about Emerson Royal. Is it confirmed? All the top quality sources, Mads, if you want to think about Romano being your top quality source, Ornstein is the same level as him, both saying deal agreed. And personal terms were never going to be an issue with Solanke. Can't believe we're actually showing Milan how to do a deal. Thing is, Spurs have such a bad reputation when it comes to transfers, with negotiations. Every negotiation seems to be just a brutal war, 25 goals, nice. You're so happy. Good. I'm good. I'm ready to see Solanke wear a Naruto headband in the Europa final. I'd love that, Shroomsy. I'd love it. Solanke and Eze. Dominic Solanke is a better fit than Tony. I'd probably say so as well. I'm personally not sure if Gyökeres would have been a better option because we don't know if he would have been better, and getting a striker cheaper and making him expensive is just what our club is known for. Yeah, Gyökeres, I think, he's a good player, but he's going to cost a big chunk of money. And trust me, if he only scored 20 goals in one season, I think people would be upset with that, genuinely, because of how much he had costed. So, look, we also had a homegrown situation that we needed to keep an eye on. This is another homegrown move that will help. Sign Neto on our attacking front, we'll be able to compete with Arsenal. Well, look, if we signed Neto, it would be better than theirs. Genuinely. We spent roughly 90 million with 6 million coming in from sales, so only 13 million net spend. Eze is the last part of the puzzle. Now, left back, who thinks Solanke would flop? Personally, I don't. Him and Son, a really good winger, would be balling, yeah. So looking at it, people are quite happy. Good to see. Good to see. But yes, happy days on Solanke. I hope to only actually talk about him once more before the start of the season. That's just to say he's here. Medical done, that kind of thing. But this is the main video when it comes to the situation. Deal agreed. It's a club record fee for Bournemouth. We're not too sure how that will look because there was rumours and reports that Spurs were going to come just a tad bit underneath the release clause to allow them to give Bournemouth a little bit more up front, because obviously the 20% sell-on fee then goes to Liverpool. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what the figures look like, but it is a club record signing, a club record sell for Bournemouth. I did see a report, very interestingly, saying that Bournemouth were really unhappy with how long this deal has taken, which makes me think that Spurs have been sniffing around Solanke for quite a while before finally going for him. Because if they're unhappy now, which means they've known Spurs have been around him for a while and they thought they'd be able to keep him. I did see a lot of Bournemouth fans getting Larry on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, what's this? Where you all come from? Why are we getting Larry? We're all friends here. We should go for Bakayoko, not Neto. So like Richie stays, and I think he could become a number 1 if he really gets it. Well, with Solanke and Richie, you've got rotation. The ability. You got to think we've got 4 competitions next year. You've got the Premier League, the EFL Cup, the FA Cup, which is the domestic cups and league in England. You then factor in the Europa League, the 4th option. You're gonna need bodies. You do. You need a Solanke and a Richarlison. You need, when people sort of slagged off the Werner signing, he's never going to be. He's not an out-and-out starter next year because of Son. He's the backup to Son, so I don't mind it. You still got Johnson, and they're going to hope. Well, we're going to talk about the right winger position, but you could have a Johnson. You still got Mikey Moore and Lancashire. Into the midfield, the bodies in the midfield now. Basuma, Bentancur, Gray, Bergvall, Sarr, Maddison, Giovanni Lo Celso is still in theory here. We'll have to keep an eye on that one because I think that might be the next sale. Him or Reguilon, I think, will be the next one after Emerson gets completed. So I think there's still a lot of work to do. They're still not ruling out a midfielder move. We'll see on that one. But obviously, Kulusevski can factor into the midfield as well. We haven't even spoken about him. When we talked about all these positions that I was talking about, I hadn't even factored in Kulusevski, but he could factor into the midfield as well. You know, when you go into the fence, you've got Spence who's come along and shown up and shown out. There you go, Spence and Porro. At centre back, you've still got the main three, Radu, Kuti, and Mickey. You know, you factor in Davies or Phillips. That obviously plays a part. You've still got the best left back in the league in Destiny Adogi. You factor in, does Jamie Donnelly stay around? Ben Davies. Mickey can also play there if he needs to. So, you know what I mean? The squad's starting to look a little bit more like an Ange squad. And I always said, it's going to take a little while. Let's not rush this. Let's not think we're doing a quadruple next season. Let's not be like that. It was always going to take 4, 5, 6 windows. Ange has had 3. This is his 3rd window. We're getting a lot done. Morning, Tom. How are you, mate? Bournemouth fans on... I saw. Do you know what, Teddy? I watched the Bournemouth page yesterday, and it was 2 guys. I can't remember the page, so apologies. But I felt like I learned about Bournemouth, and I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we got Solanke. I'd have preferred Tony. We've been crying out for a centre forward for a while now with K32. Here we go. Hey, Joshua's here. Joshua, absolute goat of the channel. Yeah, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, by the way, we are doing a Inside Spurs Fantasy Football League. So let me know in the comments if you want to join. We've already got about 20 people in there. I'll post the link and everything. Hey, Iqbal, how are you, mate? That's all right. Ignore the thumbs up. That's all right. Don't worry. You've been sick for the past month, but good to be back. What did I miss? We're signing Solanke, Iqbal. But more importantly, I hope you're okay, mate. All right. West Ham doing good miss with Tadibo. Yeah, it's a good signing for them. Returning to see breaking Solanke, Green, Emerson. Here we go. It's never been more back. My guy Madzi. Want to see how many players we signed last year. I want to know how rotation was possible under Conte. Well, Conte would have nuked the squad as much as possible, you know. But yes, good window so far. Warren, I agree. Good window. Outgoings wise, fantastic. Incomings are now starting to work their magic. Morning, Mark. How are you? Matters will be good. Don't worry. They were a bit more mature than some other fans. Yeah, they were great. I you know, the world is a miserable place, but there are some good people. Don't worry. Well, we're going to talk about what's coming next in a minute. It's been long since an Andy stream. The dopamine is hitting. We are back, baby. We are back. Do you think Lo Celso is staying? Well, Dean, we'll come back to what's next sales-wise, but we're going to talk about Emerson now because this was the next breaking news that came out. I'll have to just double check when it came out. Where is it? It came out 31 minutes ago. So that would have been about basically 9:30 UK time. So Emerson Royal to AC Milan. Here we go. Deal in place for total package in excess of 15 million euros from Spurs. Agreement with Emerson reached in May as he only wanted Milan despite 4 or 5 different proposals. Travel being planned as Emerson leaves Spurs and joins Milan's project. So there you go. Emerson Royal to AC Milan. Deal confirmed. He should be on the way to his medical in the coming days. And look, as much as a lot of people wanted Emerson gone, we were right to take our time on this deal. Yes, they had a deal agreed in terms of like contracts and things like that back in May, but that doesn't mean you rush this deal. You know, people were complaining, oh, they offered us 8 million. We should just taken it, get him out of the way. But if you know you can get double that, why would you sell him? It makes no sense. So actually waiting, what did Spurs did was wait around, get Milan to, you know, come to the table and actually, you know, make a credible offer. And it worked out in the best for everyone because actually Spurs get a deal that they want. They get a bit more money that they want. So if you think of net spend, again, it just brings it down because obviously Solanke rips it back up again. It just chips away a little bit, you know, so there's that as well. So all in all, I think everyone wins in this deal. Spurs obviously move off of Emerson and get some money back for him. Emerson gets to move to a Champions League club in AC Milan. That's a good move for him. Plus, I've been to Milan. It's a beautiful city. He's going to love it there. The food is absolutely banging. The San Siro is great. I've been there as well. But also for Milan, they get a guy in his mid-20s who will suit Italian football to the absolute ground. No one can deny Emerson Royal. That guy can defend. He can. It's the one thing that we can all agree on. He can defend. It's when you ask him, we need you to create attacks. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. that's when it starts to get a bit more difficult and a bit more iffy. But in terms of the actual move for Emerson, it's a great move. Spurs get some good money. Milan don't have to spend a lot of money. Obviously, Milan have lost out on Xerxes to Manchester United. I think they're still going to get Yusuf a final, which I think is another good move for Milan. But in terms of Emerson Royal, I think that's a good move. It's a good move for Emerson, Rick says. Agreed. Polly's here. Sorry, not been much busy at work past 2 weeks. It's okay, Tom, mate. I hope you're okay. Happy he will do well. 26 goals, he says. Chris says, nice. Hope Dominic does well. We hope so as well, Rudra. Polly's happy. Spence's birthday and Emerson sold. Funny coincidence. I'm back, Les. Good to see you, mate. Bro, do you think if we sign Solanke and one forward, there's a chance of winning anything? Well, we're not going to sign another forward. It's just Solanke, and I do think we can. Solanke and Richie as strikers. Don't think there's been much more confidence in a strike duo since maybe Keane, Defoe, Pavlyuchenko, and Crouchy. We are here. Here we go, Patrick. Absolutely. He's a good player, just right for us. Emerson gone. Hope so. He is, Clifford. Emerson, just to clarify, Emerson, here we go, confirmed. AC Milan, deal in excess of 15 million euros. So it's a bit more than 15 million. I always said it'd be about 17, 18. It's probably going to be in around 17, 18 million euros. I think everyone wins in this deal. I do. I don't think it's expensive for Milan. I don't think this is a bad move for Emerson. I actually think it's a great move for Emerson. I actually think it might be a better move than being at Spurs even. I genuinely think so. But do you know what? For us, Spence showed out this preseason. We like what we see and like what we have with Spence. He's still young, by the way. That's the thing that we forget about. The guy is still young. He's not an old player. I know it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Jed Spence. It's also Alistair Gold's birthday, so happy birthday, Mr. Gold himself. But he showed out, and I'm happy with Spence as the second right back this season. I think Emerson's transfer to us was really sad because he moved in the same window, two clubs, because Barca were just broke. True. We're going to talk about what's coming next in a minute, Madzi. What morning this already is. Rajendra Bandari. What a name, mate. What a name. Great name. How many goals does Solanke score? Well, we'll do a poll in a minute as well. I think we'll get a winger. I heard Spurs are favourite sign as a 6-4 odds, Jazz. Interesting. I saw so many people saying that we always had the big name strikers, but it's literally not true because we always got cheap options and made them big. It won't be Eze. Palace won't take anything. Well, there you go. Right. Over 200 people watching. Thank you all very much for joining me. This is a personal best morning for us on Inside Spurs. So do subscribe if you haven't. That'd be very much appreciated. So let's do a poll for the Emerson Royal deal. Emerson sale. We'll just say 15 million. Happy, not happy. All right. Easy enough. You can't get this one confused. Easy enough. Emerson Royal deal. 15 million. Happy, not happy. Vote in the poll. You let me know down there below. All right. Jess Spencer's been good in the friendlies, Clifford. I agree, mate. I agree. A lot of people are against Solanke on Twitter. Don't know why. He's quality. It's just with some Spurs fans, they like agendas, Alez, and they want to be proved right on things. So if Solanke doesn't score for one game, everyone will call him a flop because they want their agenda to be correct instead of actually just wanting the football club to be happy. I think number 11 will look good under Eze personally. I like to be in my own delusions. Shroomsy, my guy. My guy, Shroomsy. To be truthful, most Spurs fans don't really want Solanke as it came as a shocking transfer target. We only want to see new player in the squad, and that's the truth. Yeah, fair enough. Richarlison's his name. Fair enough. No more no-look passing. We will miss those completations. We will miss them. It will hurt. It will hurt. Get a right winger and a left centre-back. This season, Tottenham should be more focused on Europe than league fans. Jen, just focus on all competitions. That's how I look at them all. Imagine we get someone random like a Sudakov. We won't get Sudakov. We won't get Sudakov. Happy's going, but it's too cheap, says Callum. Interesting. Min's in here. Min, are you happy? I know you've been very upset with me the last few, not with me, but with Spurs last few weeks. But are you happy now, Min? Let me know. Really lost the Brazilian legend, the Spurs legend, Emerson. It will hurt. Hit the like button, says Jazz. Appreciate that, Jazz. Solanke deal advanced. How is that news? It's news, Chris, because we've agreed a deal. The medical will be soon. That's the news. Ange Ball's not working. I'll give over. Ange Ball is absolutely fantastic. Hey, Peter, how are you? I I saw Poch was favourite for the US job. I didn't see that he was favourite for the England job, but Lee Carsley, the under-21 manager, will be the interim manager, which it's just recycle and repeat of Southgate. What number do I think Solanke's getting? Oh, I don't know, Benadil. No idea. Solanke fits like a glove. Yeah, I say so, James. So no midfielder this year. Well, we're going to come to it in a minute. Where's the Discord, Andy? Teddy's going to kill me for me just saying that alone. Wait for it, Shroomsy. Teddy's going to kill me for the Discord thing. I've got Inside and Solanke with heaps of beautiful Spurs land, massive. Polly's happy. If you're not aware, by the way, and you're new to the channel, one Polly Cooper for well over half a year has been saying we should be getting Solanke. And when it didn't look like we were going to, we did. And she's been proved very correct. Do we know what Solanke's mastered about when he scores? It's an anime thing. It's an anime thing. Eze is still on the radar. Yeah. Van Gogh's here. My guy. You won't have to work today, Van Gogh, mate. I've got you. Don't worry. So, yes, very happy news. I don't talk about the Discord anymore, Teddy says, because I'm only 1% is unhappy with the sale of Emerson. Interesting. Very happy, mate, with the news that we all follow you. We really need a striker. Well, we're getting him. Don't forget, Solanke, there's no chance of getting my glorious king, Jonathan David. The trainer's derailed. It has, Les. Sorry, mate. Morning, Martin, mate. How are you? Escape the Labour. All right, Jesus. 225 people are watching this sad freak. God. You've all not got something better to do. Eze and Pedro Neto. We're not going to get both, Lemuel Smurden. What in that? There's so many people in this chat with brilliant names, by the way. You've all got brilliant names, but there's some absolute belters. We won't get CDM. Ange said he prefers 2-8s. Ange said about midfielders that he doesn't view them as an individual position. He just views them as midfielders. Roger is Marshall. Right. Okay. Fair enough, Marshall. So yes, happy days. So what do we think is next? 3,000 subscribers is getting closer, Les. Absolutely. Feels like Christmas morning. Sanford, happy Christmas, mate. Call me Father Christmas. Call me Santa Claus. We might have chances Rich missed last season. Solanke can't do worse. This is why Van Gogh, my twin in chat, the anime sellies, man. Nice. Been to gym, Emerson out, Solanke in. Oh, baby. Sanford, you and me are the same, my friends. If we're looking at a prolific goal scorer, I think Tony should have been the main target because Solanke way is also about... Well, Solanke scored nearly 5 times the amount that Tony scored last year. So... let's talk about what we think's next. So if we follow on from Emerson being sold, let's talk about who maybe we think is going to be out the door next. Now, we know Sergio Reguilon won't be at Spurs. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He didn't go on the tour, which is the very obvious sign that he's not going to be in the squad. So we expect him to move on, right? And I think Spurs, as much as I think, could we get a few quid out of him? There might be a situation that Spurs go, take him on loan, just... is yours, basically, sort of thing, I could absolutely see that. The way they they didn't treat Tanganga or Sessegnon badly. I'm just saying the way they treated their deals and looked at them, I think they could do the exact same thing with Reguilon and just say to someone, have him on loan, pay his wages, wash your hands. You know what I mean? I could so absolutely see that deal. Manor Solomon. I think when I've been watching Manor Solomon in pre-season, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I've been looking into this and maybe seeing things with eyes that maybe I shouldn't be seeing. But I sort of watched Manor Solomon, and it looks like he's sort of lost that burst of that pace. That over those 5 yards where Manor was quite quick and fast twitch. It feels like he's lost a little bit of that. And I think Spurs want to send him out on loan to allow him to get the game time that he needs to regain that into next season. I think that will be a potential. Absolutely. Giovanni Celso. There's a situation. He's got 1 year left on his contract. We like Gio. We all think Gio's a pretty decent player, but the issue that we have with Gio is just staying fit. So, with that being said, with Reguilon, with Gio, and with Manor, those are the 3 that you could sit there and say, they're probably next. They may not all go, but they're probably next. So, in the comments there, let me know who you think of those three would be the next one to leave. Either loan or sale. Tell me that as well, because I want to know what you guys think before I tell you who I think. And then I'm going to come to the guys who I think will be next in terms of who I think Spurs will look to bring in. Okay. Thoughts on Maddison? It's pre-season. I'm not that bothered. Wait, let's get him into the actual games that matter. I was watching a 90-minute football video earlier, and they were like, Tottenham's defense is shaky. It's like, well, with our main four, with the main four of Porro, Kuti, Mickey, and Udogie, we were the fourth best defense in the league. So it's not that shaky. And then someone went, yeah, I'm worried about Maddison's form in pre-season. And then in the same sentence went, yeah, but we've got a carcass of a squad. It's like, well, then what did you expect? I don't get some Spurs fans. I think they're a little bit not with it, if I'm honest. I left Skip off because I want to talk about him in a second. Regulon will go next. Regenda has just described my guy Regenda. There was someone else that just described as well. I've missed who it was. Can you let me know so I can give you a shout out, because you are an absolute legend for subscribing, and you're very much all welcome to join us for the journey. Even the legends that have been here for absolutely months and years, they're always still welcome, just as you are new. Kulusevski back up to Cam. Solomon will go Wolves, possible part of Neto deal. Jessica, that's a shout and a half. Jessica. Jessica always comes in with some absolute bombs. I love it. Man to Wolves, Glenn says. Glenn's with Jessica. Will Kuti and Mickey start tomorrow? They'll feature for sure. Regular on loan. Okay. Solomon loans. We should all sell all three and bring in Eze. Must run at white ring. Chiesa. I want to see Decky play more. He'll be rotation, Van Gogh. This is the beautiful with the squad. The squad is so good. There's going to be a lot of rotation. We need a right winger. We'll come to it in a minute. I just need to see Udogie overlapping with Eze. I just know it'd be beautiful. Streamsy, he's going to be overlapping with Sonny. It's going to be even better. The big D. That was it. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. You're more than welcome to join us for the journey, because it's been a fun one so far. I'm even getting people reach out to me for advertising. You know, that's how good it's getting. They're not squash. They're not with the summer fruit squash. It's back, baby. It's back. It never left, but it's not some fruit squash companies. It's other companies. If we sell Skip, then we can only register 23 players for the Europa squad. What will happen to Kulusevski this upcoming season if we get Eze or Neto? He'd just be more featured in different positions, I think, the way I look at it. For me, bro, Solanke mixed feelings. If we get him over the line, I'd want us to get another quality attacker in Eze. Well, Ledoux, we're coming to it, my friend. Don't worry. I think next summer, Brem Diaz will be interesting as Madders, right wing backup, because he's cheap, good, and backup Real. So he probably is me. Well, we'll see about that, because they'll probably go, we want Romero, because I saw that Real Madrid was sniffing around Romero, and Daniel Levy told him to kick rocks, which I was like, Daniel, you have my respect for the afternoon. Forster can leave too. I think Forster will stay. As a third string keeper. I don't want to see anyone be a backup to us. There's no one going to be a backup. They're rotations. We're going to talk about Skippy in a minute, Regenda. I'm happy to stay at Tottenham, guys. My guy, Richarlison. Imagine Kuti and Van de Ven at start and we beat Bayern. Well, Kane will feature tomorrow, by the way. Harry Kane will be back and featuring for Bayern. What about Richarlison? I talked about him yesterday. Sabe-er, I think. Need to give Solomon a chance. Well, I think they'll probably put him out on loan, Zach. So look, who I think will be next out the door. For me, it'll be Regulon or Solomon. Regulon's obviously a deal that Spurs just kind of want to get him out of the door. He's not going to feature next season. He's not good enough for really what we want as well. But if you ask me, when another team want him, he's the best left back in the world. You'll love him. We're going to get you a cheap deal with him, my friend. It's like when you go abroad and someone abroad goes, for you, my friend, that's exactly what we're going to do. But Manor Solomon to Wolves is a very interesting idea. So shout out the ones that have said, there's quite a few of you that said that with that kind of deal, yes, it would make the deal a bit more appetizing for Wolves. Obviously, you kind of go, we've got you someone ready to rock and roll if you want them, whilst we go for the Neto side of things. It makes maybe them a little bit more open to the deal. Now, a few of you, Clifford, I just saw your comment about Skippy as well. Not to the level we need, at least. Tomorrow's going to feel like a Harry Kane testimonial. Yeah, I know. guys, who cares who plays? As long as the best players start, that's the whole point. Regular wants European football, but European people don't want him. So hoping Sevilla pay. They're not going. I don't think they're going to pay 10 million. Sevilla don't have that kind of money. The Norwegian Viking, what a name! And he's got I think he's got a minion as his profile picture. Welcome to Inside Spurs live streams. We still need Tony. Do not understand if we only go for Solanke, but this is Levy. Stupid things happen. Well, we're not going to sign Solanke, Tony, and have Richarlison. Solanke and Richarlison's good. 40 million for Neto, 50 million appearance add-ons and Manor on loan. Well, Alex the Great, that's a shout and a half. So MVR, my guy. So look, let's see on the Gio, Regulon, and Manor front. Well, let's talk about Skip. We talked about Skip in a previous video, stating the 3 teams that came up in Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester were all quite keen on him. Now, yes, there's an issue with the whole academy train side of things and what that makes. Spurs are going to want big money for it. And I saw a comment from Paul O'Keefe when someone asked, what do you reckon, 15 million? And he said he reckons Daniel Levy's going to want nearly double that. So double that being 30 million. You're not going to get 30 million for the Skip. But I did see a club offer 20 million for Scott McTominay. Now I'm thinking we should get 20 million because Scott McTominay is not great. So, and all, English homegrown, all that stuff being a thing in this side of things, English and homegrown, there's obviously that tax when it comes to English players of about 10 to 15 million. So Skip, obviously that. You're going to be looking at that with interesting eyes because I think Spurs will want to keep Skippy because of the academy train side of things. And I do get it because it is something that when we go into Europe, we need. But with Skip, if Spurs can get 20 million, you know what I mean? They're probably going to look at that with eyes of going, it's 20 million, it's FFP, or like 20 million profit of FFP. Those things are very difficult to come by. You have so many youngsters coming through of so much quality. I think people have so focused in on Archie Gray and Bergvall, they forgot Lancashire and they forgot Donnelly and Moore. Jed Spence being in the squad, that's homegrown as well. Don't forget that. There's a lot of really good, talented players coming through. Bergvall and Gray are going to be great. I just, you know what I mean? I want to give some love to the other amazing youngsters that we have. That sounded wrong. McTominay's way better than Skip. You can have Scott McTominay in your team, Callum, but I don't want him anywhere near my team. Levy would definitely want overpriced Skip. He will. Yeah. Sun shining inside live Spurs, live stream for Solanke signing date night. Jesus, Callum. Don't believe until he passed medical wear Spurs shit. Fair enough. Yeah, but Scott McTominay can't put 3 passes together. If you see his passing stats, you'll agree with me. And if you don't agree with me, it means you haven't looked at them. That's why Man United are so desperate to get rid of him. And they finished where in the league last year? Says it all. Neto is technically the best choice for winger. Injury-free, and he is cooking. Well, injury-free, yeah, but, do you expect Solanke to start every game? Well, not every game, because we're going to be playing like 40, 50 games this season. He's going to be rotated. But McSauce is Scottish international. I'll take 8 million for Skip. He doesn't suit our system, unfortunately. Well, I wouldn't take 8 million. I want more than that, because English tax is at least 10 million alone. 15 million probably. So I want at least that. Skip and Winks double pivot, Bergwijn, maybe Solomon on the wings. Leicester is becoming Spurs, isn't it? It is becoming Spurs, but like not in the way that it's like Spurs buy loads of Leicester players. It's the other way around. They've taken all of our players that we don't want. Well, we're going to come to the winger in a minute, Caleb. Trust me, we're coming to in a minute. I'll never forget about more. Good, my guy, Patrick. I'll be okay with Donnelly's second left back. Well, the thing is with the left back situation, yes, Patrick Dorgu is the guy that I really like from Lecce. I know people quite like Bradley Locco as well. For me, both are very exciting. There's a situation where Mickey van der Ven has shown that he can play left back. Now, I'm not saying he's going to start there. Please don't, because Destiny Udogie is still the number 1 left back at the club. He's still the best left back in the league, in my opinion, as well. But you've also still got Ben Davies, right? And I know some people maybe aren't keen on Ben Davies at left back, but just hear me out before anyone jumps down my throat. you've still then got a situation where Jamie Donnelly's been featuring at left back. And I probably would say we might even see a bit of Jamie. We'll hopefully see Destiny tomorrow. He's been training with the squad. So hopefully we see Destiny Udogie tomorrow, which I cannot wait for. But hopefully maybe see a little bit with Jamie Donnelly in there, you know? Killick, sorry, don't start this again, Marshall. I've seen other Premier League teams price the most average players for the wildest amount. So I think 25 to 30 for Skip is fair. Well, there we go, JMP. Yeah, I know Van Gogh, honestly. The report says Donnelly might go on. So Donnelly has a lot of interest from the Championship and League One. Supposedly, most teams from both leagues. So again, if Donnelly's not going to get any real minutes with the first team this season, then yes, okay, send him out on loan. But if he's going to be getting some all right minutes and he's going to feature in cups or, you know, a little bit of Europe here and there and maybe a Premier League game here and there, then I'd say keep him. Let him feature. I've been really impressed with Jamie Donnelly this summer. I think he's been one of the players I've been most impressed by as well, genuinely. Did I see Davies passing range in friendlies? Yeah, but that normally from centre back, that's why. Think something might happen with Locker after the Olympics final. When is the Olympics final? Actually, I don't know. We need to get 2 or 3 more. We need another top winger. Well, again, guys, we haven't come to what's coming in yet. So let's just hear me out first. It's not a garbage signing phase. Oh, come on. Spence started left wing back. Well, he can play a little bit of left back. Yeah. Now I just need Jota. Oh, Jesus Christ, Roomsy. Well, I think there's a lot of ability to factor in left backs, but I think with the left back situation, I don't think they're looking to go there yet because they have their priorities. They've got the next position lined up that they're going to be working on. Lancashire should stay with the squad. We'll see about Devine. Donnelly is one of the best passers. He is. I don't know if he makes him more of a Maddison replacement, but I definitely think the ability that Gray and Donnelly have shown to play different positions, I think has got this club thinking, actually, hang on a second, that these young guys are learning multiple positions. That's only going to benefit us in the future. It's tonight, is it? Well, I might have to watch it. Thoughts is going on loan. I couldn't tell you that right this second. I think they want to get through this next game tomorrow. And I think next week and the week after, we'll start to see a lot of loan deals for some youngsters. So yes, let's talk about the right wing position because a lot of you have been talking about it. I promise I hadn't missed it. I hadn't I hadn't misplaced my thought process. Spurs, obviously, their main priority was getting the number 9 sorted. Now, with Dominic Solanke, they have got it sorted. I will just double check Twitter to make sure that I've not missed anything because knowing my luck, I have. Okay, I haven't missed anything. That's fine. Apparently, Ange's got a press conference at 1 p.m. though. Interesting. But yes, so they wanted to get the striker position sorted first. That was the number 1 priority, which they have. Dominic Solanke will be the number 1 striker. Well, not number 1 striker, but he will be the striker signing for the summer. Then the next position they were looking at was the right wing position. Okay. With the right wing position, obviously the idea is Kulusevski, I think, is going to float between different positions. You know, they'll get a little bit of right wing from Kulusevski, you get a little bit of number 9 from Kulusevski, depending on the game. You get a little bit in the midfield from the 10 or the 8. And hell, you might even get a little bit out of him at left wing. So, because you've got that utility man, which I've always been shouting about, that we could do with more utility men in the squad, which I think Archie Gray's one of those. Jamie Donnelly could be. You never know. Kulusevski is another one. So on the right wing position, you're looking at, well, we've got Mikey Moore, the 16-year-old who I think tomorrow turns 17. Might be wrong, but I think he's tomorrow. You've obviously got Brennan Johnson, which they always said this next season coming. This season was the season they actually bought him for. So let's see what we got with Jono as well. But they also still need a right winger in that area. Now, I did see one of you mention Desiree Doué. It's just because of the Olympics and things like that, that deal had slowed down. Think of it like the Euros and the Copa. Those deals slow down as well. Same sort of thing. Also, Bayern really need to sell players. That's one of their big issues at the moment. Bergvall will start games this season, yes. well, it's provisional, Caleb, so plenty of time still to change that. Much love from Namibia. Oh, Geraldo Van Wyck. That's my first person from Namibia. Namibia? That's how I think I say it. I've nearly butchered that. But welcome, my guy, Geraldo. Well, we've been, by the way, on Matt O'Reilly, to give you a heads up, we have been offered Matt O'Reilly, but the club aren't focused on him right now. I believe Matt O'Reilly will go to Celtic. Matt O'Reilly will go to Brighton, I believe. Third and fourth birthdays today. Finals tomorrow. Thank you, Inner Hype, my friends. Lo Celso's made 77 appearances, needs to be sold. I like the false nine formation we play against Man City. We'd like to see that more. Well, it will depend on the game, won't it? Are the clubs stupid or something? I'm not sure what you mean, Caleb. More 17 on the 11th of August. I was one day off. It's in 2 days' time. Said it right. Thank you, Gerardo, mate. Thank you. But welcome to everyone that is new and has subscribed. I very much appreciate it. So let's chat about that right wing position. Obvious one, Pedro Neto. We've been linked to him for over half a year now, for sure, right? In terms of fit of the system, yeah, the guy fits the system. Now, there's obviously a concern about his injuries. That's also a fair thing to say. Then you have Ebrich Eze. It's another winger that we've been linked to. Now, he's more of a left winger, but I doubt for a second he couldn't play on the right. Neither could I doubt that Sonny could play on the right. We've seen even Richie play on the right, you know what I mean? So I don't think there's any issue in that. Now, Eze obviously has that release clause of £68 million. 60 million is the first initial amount, and the 8 million is an add-ons amount. The issue with that is Palace have set out the release clause as they want virtually all of it paid in one chunk. Teams don't really do that. It kind of ruins what you try and do in transfer market wise because of FFP and things like that. It's a huge loss, if you know what I mean. It's not obviously a loss. Ignore these thumbs up. I don't know what they're doing, but ignore those thumbs up. But yes, he does obviously suit what we want to try and do. Now, who else have we been linked to? Well, we've been linked to Coensao from Porto. Again, another right winger who is a left foot. He's a bit slight compared to what we also have been linked to, but would he suit Ange for sure? Desiree Dou is another one, but he's going to cost the same as Eze, to be honest. And he's off to Bayern. I believe he will be. We've been linked to Marcus Edwards, a homegrown academy trained player. Would cost quite cheap amount of money. But again, I think a lot of fans would go, we were linked to some really great players, and that feels like a bit of a step back. Trying to think of who else been linked to with the winger position. Oh, Takefusa Kubo, another right winger with a left foot. And you got to see a lot of these right wingers, they've all got left foot. You know, I'm just saying they've got a lot of these right wingers have got left foot. Again, a very attacking, very quick, very quite technically gifted winger, Kubo. But a lot, again, would cost a lot of money. There's that release clause. It's around about 60 million euros. So we're talking about a lot of wingers here that are going to cost somewhere between, I would say, 45 and 60 million. That's kind of the realm of these players that we're talking about. Neto, Kubo, Coensao, Eze, Due, if you want to throw him in as well. Edwards the only one that wouldn't, but he'd cost very, very, I mean, he costs like 10, 15 million probably because of the release clause that we have on as well. More can, yeah. Are you talking about O'Reilly? Yeah, fair enough. Out of anyone, Emerson got the best move in terms of our deadwoods. I think Troy Parrott got a good move though as well. No news on Lancashire Divine. Lancashire, they reckon, might be with the first team next season. Have you missed anything? Robert, you have. You missed Solanke, you missed Emerson, both moving into Spurs and out of Spurs. I think if we would go in for Due, he would choose us. Again, it's a situation of that cost of over 60 million. Would we choose him? You know, that's the thing. Kubo won't succeed in the Premier League, Gerardo reckons. But yes, who do we reckon then? You let me know in the chat. Give me who you think Spurs will look for their right winger position. Do you think it's Neto? Do you think it's Eze? Do you think it's Coensao? Do you think it's Edwards? Do you think it's Kubo? Do you think it's Due? Or do you think it's someone completely different that we've not spoken about on this channel? There's always that potential. You let me know. I'm going to have a swig of my summer fruit squash. Cheers. It's a good day for a summer fruit squash. Surprised we weren't in for Jonathan Rowe. Well, I think I messaged you back today, Robert, on Jonathan Rowe, and I gave you my views on it. I thought he'd go to maybe a lower Premier League team, but Leeds is still a good move for him, you know. Neto, fair enough. Compared to Lancashire, Donnelly numbers and Syrian. Oh, okay, that's fair enough. Stop with the clickbait, bro. Ooh. Someone's not been looking at the internet today, Yale. Tell you what, Yale, go and check out David Ornstein for Dominic Solanke and go and check out Emerson Royal for Fabrizio Romano. Check them out quickly. Come back, and I'll accept your apology after that, my friend. What about a poll with the names in it? Venturous, I want you guys to get involved. I want to see some comments about it. Eze, Sonia says. Cheers, Alez. Levi Garcia for right wing, Amir Richardson for midfielder. Oh, here comes Marshall. Johan Bakayoko. That I think he's staying at PSV because I think a lot of people thought Liverpool would go for him, and that's completely gone quiet. Hip abducted day. Well, there you go. If you didn't know who my brother was, there's my brother. And yes, I did do leg day, and hip abductor was in there. Wolves rejected Man City offer 50 million last year's window because they couldn't get a replacement. 1 year of injury on. Well, again, but we can factor in a potential loan deal for Solomon, so they could have a bit of a replacement in there. Jared Bowen for right wing. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Neta Eze depends if money for Emerson is 15 up front. Well, it won't be all up front. I doubt it's Milan. I doubt it'll be all up front. Look at the coat tweet from Ben Jacobs just about Emerson, lol. All right, let me have a quick look. What did he say? He was so wrong about our deals, but let's have a look. Ben Jacobs. He's had a terrible 24 hours with his transfer news. Milan will now proceed with Emerson, but there are big internal doubts and debate. Oh, shut up. Jesus wept. Just take his L and move on. You know what I mean? Neto Eze, Bakayoko and Nusa have gone very quiet. They have. It won't be Gift Orban. It won't be him. Don't rate Eze. To be honest, Neto clear. Ooh, interesting. Bakayoko's 1v1 demon. Geertrude. Is it Villa that are going for Geertrude? Hell of a move for them. I think Hato as a defender will be great. Locke or Dorgu. Dorgu's always been my guy personally. Don't we usually play with 2 8s? Why do so many people want us to get a marquee 6? You tell me, CDC. Still links to a number 6 is worrying me. It doesn't worry me, Alfie, mate. It doesn't worry me. Get Pedro Goncalves. And if you play FIFA, you know that Pedro Goncalves is Pedro G Fuel. Sane would be decent. He'd be right, Sane, wouldn't he? He's not coming, but he'd be good. I bloody love Leroy Sane. I love watching Bayern play just for Leroy. And I love it how Germans say his name, Leroy Sane. I love it. Ben Jacobs has been flopping. Geertrude apparently off to Villa. Yeah, so I said it's a good move for him. Also, did you see the Basuma BBC interview? No, I haven't. Eze might be a possibility for next season, but not right now. Not bad. Shout, JMP. One of the most level-headed Spurs channels out there. Keep it up, brother. Peace and love from Malaysia. Cheers. Oh, cheers from Malaysia, Farhan. Cheers to Malaysia, and thank you for the lovely comment, my friend. West Ham been cooking for some reason in the transfer market. Well, they didn't truly want to back Moyes, but they want to back their new manager, Julian. I don't know how to say his last name, and I'm not going to even try. He talks nonsense, yeah, Simon. Apenda. Not for the right wing position. I think in next season or 2 seasons, we'll win the title. Good Lord. I love it, Alez. Bakayoko, Alexander the Great. Or could we get Rodrigo from Real Madrid? No, we couldn't. We watched Villa and West Ham build super squads in front of our eyes. I'm not really worried about West Ham's squad. They still have a lot of issues. But Villa have made some good signings. But again, how many signings do I think have truly improved them? They're going to buy about 10 players, but I'd probably only say about 4 of them have genuinely improved them. Apparently, Bayern are looking to sell at Davies 50 million, but deal can be done in the region of 30-40. Yeah, but Alfie, that guy wants like 12 million a year on wages, and he's basically just twerking for Real Madrid. Plus, we've got Destiny Udogie. So, you know, that's why I wouldn't want him. Who the hell gets info? Ben Jacobs. Yeah, I had a report on him yesterday just because I thought it was bonkers, and literally reported on him. And within a few hours, it all came out that he basically had absolutely got everything wrong, and I knew he had. Lopetegui. Oh, thank you, Caleb. Lopetegui. What a name that is, though. Should we go for Kingsley Coman as Bayern want to sell or loan him out? I was looking at what the Bayern fans were all saying about him, and they were all like, we need to sell him. So, again, with that one, it's like, how much would he actually cost? Something about Kingsley Coman. And you want to talk about injury prone. Kingsley Coman is prone to a big injury. Would I take Grealish? Do you know what? I'd probably say no. I'll probably say no now because he's in his late 20s. Picks up injuries, expensive. But yeah, no, I'd probably say no. West Ham has proved the level they were at. It's good business for them. Yeah, no, it's good business for them. But I think people are going, we should be worried about them. I'm not worried about them. But it's good business for them. They've improved. How about that? They've definitely improved West Ham. Let's see what they're like with their new manager in the style of play, because they're changing a lot of their style of play from how Moisey played under them, you know. That's it, Polly. Agree. I'd actually take Sancho. No, I wouldn't take Sancho. More like Lopetegui. My bad. That's all right, Caleb. You're teaching me, mate. No to Grealish. Can we get Leroy Sané? No, we can't. Not now. Grealish is old. Back then, but not now. Luis Guilherme. Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, I think, look, right wing's the next position coming up. We're going to be talking a lot about it on the channel coming over the next few days. We won't be doing a watch along for the buying game tomorrow. Apologies. But if you do want to, join the fantasy football league that we're doing, hang on a second. I'll bring up the video. I will bring up the video. As long as I'm muted. Am I muted? I am muted. That's fine. Right. So I'm with you now. If you want to join the FBL, watch that video. It'll give you the one rule that I have for the FBL. And in the comments down below is the link to join it. So please join. The season starts, obviously, in basically a week's time. So you've got to get your team in. You feel like you'd be good for Ange? Well, he probably would have been, but just not anymore now. I feel like Grealish would be good for Ange Ball. So I just done that. Do you think Skip's 80-minute release cause too high for the current market? It's probably about right. I think someone gets a good deal for that. Love Joe, just need a body transplant. Oh, wow. Only improving sign is Maatson. I think Onana improves them as well. I think Onana improves them. And I think, who's the other one that I think improves them? That's going to bug me. There was another one that I was like, yeah, he improves them. But yeah, I've completely forgot. Yeah, Zaha. Hi, mate. What did I miss? You've missed 52 minutes. We talked about Solanke signing. He hasn't signed, but signing. And Emerson going to Milan. And then talking about what we think's next in sales and incomings and outgoings, you know? What do you think of Mario Hermoso as both are options for left back and left centre-back? Not bad for centre-back, maybe not as such for left-back. 65 million is okay. Not great. It's not my money, but let's hope he bags 20 goals. Where's the link? It's there. Watch the video. In the link down below, in the comments, is the link to join. Please join. I submitted a complete team in FBL because it works. You can still change it as much as you want, Teddy, before the start of the season. All right. Where's the link? It's in the actual comment. Go into that video. Go into the comments. Join there. All right. Gez, get ready to play for seconds. Leandro Damiao. Nice. What time you start then? Well, you see, I started about 9:50 because obviously the new signings, I didn't wait till 12. I started early. But yes, thank you all so much for joining me for this morning. Solanke and Emerson, happy days. We'll be back a little bit later on with some more videos. I may not be live, but we'll be back later doing some more videos talking about more of what is to come for Spurs. Hopefully, we won't have to wait too much longer for another signing. But thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.